Hi folks, and welcome back. Okay, in the first video I did, I've showed you how to put your Chromebook into developer mode. In the second video, I've shown you how it is possible using the command, the shortcut Ctrl-Alt-T to open a crash terminal, a Chrome OS developer terminal, and in that terminal you can run like a, let's say it's a version of Linux running in the Chrome OS environment, but anyway, it's not complete. But what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna go to a website on GitHub and we will download a little script. It's called Crouton and it's made by a guy which is called David Schneider. And with Crouton, by the way, what Crouton means? Crouton, it's the Crouton. By the way, in French, Crouton means it's a piece of bread with the crust around it. So it's a crouton. You know, it's a piece of bread. But it's an acronym. It means Crouton is a set of scripts that bundle up into an easy to use. That's what they say. It took me like 2 months to really learn how to use it. Chromium OS centric chroot generator. Currently Ubuntu and Debian are supported using blah 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 blah. Okay, so anyway, you can go to that website on GitHub. Me, by the way, I have created an account on GitHub, but I'm not sure if you need to do that. But me, I have an account. So with that script, it will be possible for you to install on your Chromebook computer. It will be possible for you to download and install Linux distributions, and you will be able to run these distributions on your Chromebook by using like a command which is called chroot. Anyway, what it does, it's very simple. It just changes, you know, a Unix system, it's always rooted at the first and most primordial and important directory, which is called /. And in that root directory, you have all the file hierarchy of your file system for your Unix system. So with the chroot command, what it does is that it will change the root to another root, which is somewhere else on your computer or anywhere. And so you will change to that new root, and on that new root you can have like an all new different Linux machine, so you can execute in that chroot environment. So to make a long story short, what you need to do, you will need to just download the script, and to do that, it's very simple. You will find that I think it's in this page. Okay, you will simply download this file, and also you will need also to download, you will go into the Chrome Web Store. There is a link in the master page from the guy, and you will click somewhere like the Crouton extension. It is also highly recommended that you install the Crouton extension, which when combined with the extension of wiki targets provide much improved integration with Chrome OS. So with that Crouton extension, which is right there by the way, is the Crouton integration. This is an extension that you install into your Chrome web browser, and you can find that extension into the Chrome Web Store. So if as you can see right now, it is already installed into my Chrome OS web browser. But you install that, it's very small, and that little thing, what it will do, it will, in fact, when you will start a graphical window, like with graphics, it could be like a window manager, like KDE, like GNOME, like XFC, like any other kind of Linux window manager. So it will open, so Chrome will open a new window that could be, by the way, full screen, and in that window it will run any X11 or X window applications. And also it provides integration with the mouse. So for example, if you select text here, so the content of the buffer, the clipboard will be available into the other machine. Anyway, so you need to do that. Okay, so anyway, this is the end of this video, but it's gonna be integrated into other videos where I will install a distribution of Kali Linux on my Chromebook, and I will try to make it work. By the way, I have just a parenthesis to open before. When I will install my Kali rolling Linux distribution, it will install like the window manager and no applications. So once that will be done and that everything will be working and in good Bristol fashion order, I will simply add after that applications to the Kali Linux machine, so I will have like all the tools that I want and that are needed to do hacking using my Chromebook, because a Chromebook, it's a small machine, it's very light, it has a long battery autonomy, and so you can go on the road in your car on foot and you can hack a lot of things with that machine. Anyway, so let's continue. Okay, so you see here what you can do. You type Ctrl-Alt-T, and here you are into the crush shell, and you type shell. Now I am like the user Kronos. If I go into my home directory and into the directory downloads, wow. Okay. Downloads. Okay, in the directory downloads here, I have my file Crouton, which is this file here. Okay, Crouton. This is what I have downloaded from the web. If I look at it with, for example, the command cat, or more. Let's try more instead of Crouton. Okay, alors here we see this is the little script that was downloaded from the GitHub from David Schneider. So I'm gonna make it executable, but first I have to show you something. If I do an ls of the directory user local, you see, no, if I go into cd user local, well, there's nothing there. User local, it's an empty directory. Now what I'm gonna do is the following. I'm gonna do a very simple command. I'm gonna do a sudo install -dt user local bin. This will create a directory called user local bin, and it will copy the file that we have downloaded, which is called Crouton, into that directory, and it will make it executable. So let's do it. So if I take that command, let's select it because I don't want to type it. Sorry again. So I select that, I say copy, I go here, and if I go like that, go. Okay, here I have to enter the password for Kronos. Kronos. So the password for Kronos it's done. Now if I look here into this directory, I have a bin directory that was created, and if I go into that directory, I have here the file Crouton, which is executable. Okay, so okay, so now okay, first of all, let's see. Well, if I do well, I'm gonna make the font smaller. I'm gonna put that here, and if I do well, a df -h. Okay, so here I have like a what is important, what I want to show you is that well, I have here in my stateful partition, this is a 21 gigabyte. I'm using 1.2 gigs, so only 6%. Anyway, but this is where the stuff will be installed, okay? But we'll see that. Anyway, so now, after I've done that, okay, after I have done that, I have to install okay, I'm gonna okay. So here, if I do, well, let's go to the home directory of Kronos. It's not important, but anyway, if I do the command sudo enter chroot, aha, nothing to install. Okay, I need to install Crouton first. Okay, first of all, if I do sudo Crouton -- help, so here it is telling me that I can install a release, and a release is the -R switch. But if you say -R with a list, with list as a parameter, it will then show you. So if I say -R list, it will list me. Okay, here I can install a Debian release, and one that is working not too badly. It's Xenile, okay, which is by default Xenile. Okay, this is the release. If you install Crouton without saying anything, it's gonna install a Ubuntu release, Xenile, which is equivalent to Ubuntu version 16 point something, okay? But it would be possible to perhaps use Buster or Bullseye. Buster, okay, maybe I'll try to do some other tests later, but anyway, for now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna install the rolling Kali, the Kali rolling distribution, because I wanna have stuff from Kali Linux, okay? But maybe it won't work, but I'll try to make it work. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a sudo Crouton. The release will be Kali rolling, and I'm gonna install targets. Okay, for the targets, let's list what we have here. Okay, here you see you have audio. This is a target. This is like a package that we're gonna install, okay, with the machine. And audio, support audio playback via Chromium OS audio system. Chromium OS. Oh no, it requires the core. Chrome, this is the Google Chrome browser. We will install it. You have a Chrome beta, a Chrome development channel. Okay, you have Chromium. Maybe I shall use that distribution, perhaps, because you know, sometimes I have problems with when I use Chrome. So I'm gonna install audio. I'm just gonna take notes. I'm gonna install audio, but audio requires core. Okay, audio requires core, so I'm gonna install core too. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes. Install Chromium for browser. Command line interface extra. Basic command line interface tools such as SSH requires core. Core, of course, perform core system configuration. Most users would want this. E17, install the Enlightenment desktop environment. I don't know if I wanna. I will install that E17, but I'm not sure if I need to. Extension, clipboard synchronization and URL handling using Chromium OS. It requires X11. So we're gonna install also extension. We're also gonna install X11, of course. I'm not gonna install GNOME. I'm not gonna install the GNOME desktop. I'm gonna install the GTK Extra. This is the graphic toolkit extra. And I'm gonna install not KDE, which is a nice window manager, by the way, like GNOME. Keyboard. This I will install that to have support for my keyboard. So GTK Extra keyboard, and I'm gonna need, of course, X11. It requires that. Kodi, install the Kodi media player. I will not install that. In fact, I've never used it, but maybe one of these days I will explore what it is. The LXDE, this is the, I don't know what is that desktop. I think it has something to do with the Enlightenment E17, Enlightenment Desktop Environment. LXDE, I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm not gonna install that. Should I? Anyway, if I have problems, perhaps I will install it after. Touchscreen, okay, I don't have a touchscreen on that Chromebook. Okay, I cannot use my finger on my screen to point and click and things like that. I do not want to install the Unity desktop environment, but I want to install, of course, X11, and I want also to install XFCE, which is a desktop environment. Why do I use XFCE? Because it is a desktop environment, a desktop manager that is not taking a lot of resources. I mean, not a lot of CPU and not a lot of memory, and it is very old and not a lot of bugs in that. So anyway, we're gonna install XFCE and XFCE desktop because it comes along with some applications. And Xiwi, I don't know if it's pronounced like that, but this is a backend running unaccelerated. Okay, with Xiwi you can run X window programs in a separate window all by itself. Okay, you don't need to have the whole desktop. So you could, for example, install GIMP later, you know, the GNU image manipulation program, and you could use Xiwi to execute GIMP in a window by itself. So anyway, I'm gonna install that. I'm gonna install, of course, Xorg because I need X11. Okay, so let's see how I can install that. So I'm gonna do sudo Crouton. The release is Kelly Rolling, and the things I'm gonna install, like, okay, so I'm gonna install Core and Audio and E17 and Extension and X11 and GTK Extra, and here, instead of installing Chrome, I'm gonna install Chromium. I don't know why, because let's say that in the past when I install Chrome I have some bugs, but I'm not sure. But I'm gonna go safely with Chromium here, Chromium, and okay, XFCE desktop and Xiwi, I don't know if it's pronounced like that, and Xorg. Okay, what else do I need? The keyboard. I forgot the keyboard. I will add it at the end. I don't think that the order is important here. But one thing is sure is that the keyboard requires X11. Okay, so the core, the audio, the extension. The command line the command line interface extra. I'm gonna add that too. So am I forgetting something? So I have core, audio, CLI extra, GTK, which depends on X11, Chromium, XFC desktop, XWeek. Okay, I'm gonna try with that. I hope that I'm not forgetting something. Okay, let's go. So here I have to enter the password for Kronos. Oh, XFCE. Oh, a little typo here. It's XFC. Go. Okay, warning, USB booting is enabled. Consider disabling it. Warning, signed boot verification is disabled. Okay, you can use the following command: sudo cross system dev boot. Okay, installing Kali rolling AMD 64. This is my architecture, by the way. I'm not using I do not have an Intel architecture, but I have here an AMD, a true AMD CPU. So it has detected it, and anyway, it's okay. Cannot check release signature. Keyring file not available. I don't know if that's important. Anyway, so we will let it go. This can take some times, but we will let it go. In the meantime, I'm gonna go have a cup of tea, because it's the right time now to have a cup of tea or a coffee. Okay, anyway. By the way, I can tell you something. With the Kali rolling release, what is fun is that we have access to all the tools that are available with the Kali Linux distribution, all the hacking tools. So it's very cool. But I've had some problem when I launch the window manager XFCE. I have an error message. dbus could not be initialized, something like that. I'm gonna try to fix that later if I still have the problem. But I can tell you this in the meantime is that if I install the Xenial release instead of Kali rolling or rolling Kali, whatever, I think it's Kali rolling. Anyway, then it works. I mean, everything works. The sound, the keyboard, everything works. But I do not have access in that distribution, the Xenial distribution. I do not have access to the packages that are available with the Kali Linux distribution. So perhaps in the future I will have to use the Xenial release, but I will have then to find a way to have access, maybe by specifying like a different mirror, you know, a different server, to get the packages from Kali rolling. Anyway, just by the way, since I have the time to talk to you, I can tell you something. Maybe I think it was like 2 months ago when I saw Crouton. I said to myself, hey, it's cool. I will be able to have Kali Linux on my Chromebook. So it was like 3 p.m. in the afternoon, okay? So I said, well, okay, I will install that, and perhaps that by 9 p.m. everything will be working. But you know what? It took me a month, maybe 2 months, to really make it work. And even today, I understand much better what's happening, but I still have some little problems. It's quite complicated, to install a Kali Linux on a Chromebook if you are not experienced. And as usual in programming, what you have to do is that if it's not working the first time, you have to redo it and redo it and redo it, and to read the documentation, and eventually you make it work. But it's very complex, it's not easy. It seems to be easy to install Kali Linux, but it's not so easy. Oh, I have a phone call. I'll be back. Failed to complete CH root. Failed to complete. Okay, for the E17 there was an error. Okay. Oh, it failed anyway. It failed. Okay, it failed. So I'm gonna stop that. Oh, it's so long. It's so crazy long. I was going to use the F word, but I said crazy instead of the F word. I was going to say it is F long or freaking long. It's so freaking long, but no, it's not so freaking long. It's so crazy long. And because I have a tendency, I don't know why, maybe because I don't have enough vocabulary, but I have a tendency to use the F word. I like that word because I think that the F word is the most flexible word in the English language. Yes, you can use the F word as a noun, as an adjective, as a verb, and sometimes almost as every word in a sentence. But I'm trying to stop using that word, because when you use the F word in your language, it immediately highlights the quality of your character. Yes, the quality of your character. But when you hit your thumb with a hammer, it hurts a lot, and sometimes the word gets out like that. Wow. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yes, of course. And I believe that I'm doing all that, and that when I will start the window manager XFC, I think I will get an error message. Yes. And if I have an error message, and I'm 99% sure that I will get an error message, I will want to cry. Oh, this is a good. Okay, now please specify a username for the primary user of the Kali distribution. Normally, because I have read this into the documentation from the Kali.org website, there is a document. It's called Kali Linux Revealed, and what they say is that usually here you should put your first name and your last name. So if your name is Joe and your last name is Blow, so you would put Joe Blow. And this would correspond normally to your real email address. Because if you have an issue with Kali Linux, then this is the email that you would use and the name that you would use to communicate with the people making the Kali Linux distribution. But and the username would be just Joe. If your real name is Joe Blow, Joe being your first name and Blow your last name, Joe Blow, you know. And Joe would be the username, all in the lowercase letter. But here, I'm gonna use Kelly for the username because this is only a test. And the password will be, I won't tell you. I will not tell you. Okay, so audio from will now be forwarded to CRAS, Chromium OS audio server, through an ELSA plugin. Audio, I don't know what, future Chromium upgrade may break compatibility, unmounting, done. You can now enter the chroot using enter chroot. Okay, so let's try it. Oh, I have to precede that with a sudo. Well, I will put the sudo after, just to make sure. I will just enter chroot. Since I have only one chroot defined, I do not need to add a parameter with the name of the. So I will just say enter chroot, and it will tell me must be run as root. But no, I will run it in fact as Chrome OS, but Chrome OS has the privilege of root. Okay, so sudo, the same command. So this is the password for my Cronus user, the user Cronus. So, and entering. So I was able to enter the chroot. Now, you see, if I do like the command ls from root, this is now the Kali Linux distribution. If I look at the disk, you see here, sorry, here this is my, so I'm using 4.9 gigs out of 21 gigs. I still have 15 gigabytes available. Is it true? Let me see that. Is it true that I have 15 gigabytes free? Let me move that here, get out of the way. So if I go into my download and I look at the remaining space, yes, 14.6, well, it's almost 15, so it's possible. But so maybe there is a rounding, something is rounding there, but anyway, it's not important. Okay, so now this is the moment de vérité, the moment of truth, l'instant de vérité, the moment of truth, the moment of truth. So if now I do the command start, because I forgot to tell you that if I ls user local, not sure if it will work here because local bin, sorry, it's my spaghetti that is I'm digesting. You see here in the local bin, well, there's a lot of things here. Interesting. Wow. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna do start xfce4. This is a script that was installed by the guy from the Crouton. It is on the Chrome OS system in the user local bin directory. There is a script called start xfce4. It's a bash shell script, and what it does, it starts. It looks like it's gonna work. It looks like it's gonna work. You see, Crouton? Oh, is it gonna fucking work? Is it gonna work? It looks like it's working. I'm happily, but it's taking long. Oh no, I have a problem. So you see here, unable to contact settings server. Failed to execute child process dbus launch, no such file or directory. So I'm gonna look into that error using Google, and I will try to find an answer to fix that issue. But at the moment, I'm gonna just stop recording. I'm just gonna stop recording this video and wish me. Well, I have good news. I was able to fix my error with the dbus could not launch error. What I did to fix the problem was the following. Let me show you. So in a crush shell, in the crush terminal I mean, I did the command sudo enter chroot. This is my Kronos password. And what I did the following. I don't know if I have that in my history, but I'm gonna tell you what I did. What I did the following. I did the command sudo apt install dbus x11. Okay, I did that. Oh, sorry. So I did that, sudo apt install dbus x11, and after I did that, but here it is already installed. Is already. So I have installed it earlier. So once I have installed it, now if I do the command start xfce4, this is a script, as I told you, written by David Schneider, and this will start a new window in Chrome, in the Chrome browser, with the displaying the output from XFCE, the desktop manager. Okay, this is an X11 or X window client. So now you see it runs. So now I have my Kali Linux distribution running on my Chromebook, and it's marvelous. Now the only problem is that now I need to install applications to do some hacking. So we'll do that in the next video. So stay tuned.